It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And in the House of the Legends, I have a multi award winning actress. She's an author, she's a film producer, a mother, and a motivational speaker. I give you Jacinth Headlam. Hey, hi, how you
Hello.
doing, Jacinth?
Good. How are you? Thanks
Well,
for having
welcome to my show, The Legends.
you.
It's a pleasure to have you on my show.
Uh-huh.
We tried to touch some time back, but finally we're dealing with real time now, so this is a good
Right.
thing.
Timing is everything.
So let's talk about you because we know that. Well, for what I know, you was born in Jamaica. Am I right or wrong?
Yep.
And so,
Set Mary.
as a child, did you ever thought that you would actually get into acting, or how were you actually influenced?
Yeah, I didn't really think about acting until I came to the US because in Jamaica, you just see it as the American dream. It's not something for me. It felt untouchable, it felt unreachable. And I didn't have any examples of that around me. I wasn't around any artists. So when I came to the US and I started to, see performances in church and I joined the church choir and started to do like theater shows in my church. That's when I got the acting bug. And just when people started to come up to me and say, hey, you're really talented. You're really good at this, man. I was crying, or you made me, I saw myself through you. Or I was like, wow, am I really that good? So I started to get into, I started to get into it. I'm like, I want to make this a career. And I actually started with modeling at 17. And then I
Hmm.
made my segue into acting about like in my 20s.
Okay. So, as far as being an actor at that time, who influenced you to be as far as acting? I mean, who was your angel, as I might
Um,
say?
I would say it's a couple actresses that when I look at their work, I'm like, wow, like Angela Bassett, of course, she is just
Right.
like icon.
Hmm.
Sanaa Lathan, one of my favorite movies of Love and Basketball, a classic. I love Sanaa Lathan. I just love her on camera presence. Of course, Viola Davis. A lot of people say we have similar on-screen presence,
Right.
especially drama and roles where you gotta go there. So I hear that a lot. And yeah, well, definitely, of course, Oprah Winfrey. When I
Right.
saw Color Purple, and then to see her that she's a mogul and she's doing her own talk show, and I'm like, yeah, Oprah, that's where it's at.
So let's
So I
take you back
have
to
my
your
own
very
talk show.
first performance. Can you talk about that?
What was that?
Can you? We're going to take you back to your first performance. Can you talk about that? You know, your first role. You
My
know.
first acting role
Mhm.
outside of church was Diary of a Bad Man. I went to my dad because me and my dad always watched Nollywood. We were obsessed with Nollywood films. And I'm
Okay.
like,
Okay.
man, I can do this. I want to be on a Nollywood film. And then my dad was like, I have this Nigerian guy that I work with, Denoran. And, I'm going to talk to him about you. And one day he called me and said, hey, I got your number from my dad. I'm looking to do this, crime drama, but I need somebody who can be an undercover cop, but know how to take down this Jamaican drug lord. But you got to know how to speak fluent patois. And
Right.
he got to speak, English, American English and Jamaican patois. And I was like, yes, absolutely. So Diary of a Batman was actually written with me in mind. So
Right.
even nickname with my character Simone Munchie, that's my real nickname when I'm home in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Emmy Award-winning TV show, A Crime to Remember.
Yeah.
Um, when you cast for that, did you think that you were actually going to get the role?
I think for me, I've just kind of after a while, after hearing so many no's and auditioning and you don't hear anything, you just do the work. Auditioning is a part of your job.
Hmm.
If they like your representation or your interpretation of the character and they
Hmm.
want to bring you in, great. If not, you did your job. You did what you thought, your interpretation of this character is,
Right.
and like the chips fall where they may. I think timing is also everything, because there's been auditions that I did and I'm like, I didn't put as much into it because I was either rushing or like didn't have as much time, and those are the
Right.
ones that you end up getting versus the one that you put your all into and you're like, yeah, I got this in a bag. I even hired my coach to help me, so I know I locked this in, and you don't hear nothing.
Did you ever get picked for a role that you really didn't actually want to do, that you feel that actually didn't fit you in a sense, as far
I
as your
would
character?
say 95% of the time, I off the back of my head, I can't really remember of doing any role that it didn't touch me in some way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
Because I've turned down roles where they wanted me to do certain things, and I'm like, this is not me, this is not my style, this is not how I want my work to be represented.
Right.
So it's very rare that I pick something where I don't connect with the character some way, shape, or form. There's been
Mhm.
characters that I've done where it's totally different and outside the box of who I am as a person, but I never judge
Right.
my character. But it's something in the story where, the character arc, or, the story was it was a story of triumph where you saw, it's the story of the underdog,
Right.
so I like those type of stories.
Do you ever think of have you ever did any roles where it has a lot of intense pain, where it's like encouraged to a lot of people to encourage them to get through certain type of situations or conditions that they go through?
Absolutely.
So let's talk to
I
us about that.
I I would say 90% of the roles that I've played in the
Hmm.
past are dramas. And
Okay.
I'm like to all my character, I'm crying. Either I'm hurt by something, hurt by a painful
Hmm.
past, or my characters just go through the gutter. But some way, shape, or form, the arc is, they were able to she were able to triumph, and she was able to get past, she was able to heal, she was able
Right.
to give in some way, shape, or form. But for some reason, I just always attract those type of roles. So now I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna leave the drama. I still that's something I can do with my eyes closed. I can cry on
Right.
cue. I'm really good with stuff like that. But I just want to get into more sci-fi, more horror, more comedy, just to really, diversify my portfolio as an actor.
Um, you are you producing as well?
Yes, I'm now producing. I just produced my first TV pilot, which is inspired by my book called Love After.
Okay.
So I totally should have sent you guys the trailer. I didn't get to send it.
Well, actually, when we was going to do it in the TV studio, we talked about it, and
Mhm.
actually, due to the pandemic, things had got a little crazy, so it just
Right.
didn't happen. But it's good to know. So let's talk about the book itself and actually the functional parts of it that people should know about.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, Love After is a motivational memoir slash self help, which really spoke about my journey from pain to purpose. It really spoke about my journey of my divorce and how divorce can just be ugly. It's a death, but it's not a death sentence. It's
Right.
something that you can rise above. It's something that you can heal from. Of course, healing takes time. Time does definitely heal all wounds, because the
Hmm.
sun, it doesn't rain forever. The sun has to come out. Yeah, I spoke about my divorce and how does co-parenting look like with, after post-divorce, and trying to keep the kids in a healthy co-parenting type of rhythm.
Hmm.
I've also spoke about some of the past traumatic experiences that I've went through, and how I was able to rise above that through the power of forgiveness. I
Right.
think that's key, because a lot of people think that forgiving somebody else, that means you're weak, that steps on your ego, you feel like you're giving somebody the upper hand, and
Hmm.
but no, you're losing sleep. Forgiveness is a power that you give to yourself. You're taking back that power, saying, look, I'm not going to allow what you did or said or didn't do to allow me from and stunt my growth, and prevent me from evolving.
Right.
So, I had to learn the power of forgiveness with anyone that hurt me, whether it was from childhood, teenage, to 20s, to now 30s.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. And we're going to look at some of the roles that Jacinth has played in the past. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
You know you might get 30 years for this, right? I liked you better as a rapper.
Jeez, I'm peas. We can't even understand nothing on this menu.
Nobody worry yourself. I wanted something nice.
You always surprise me. I never knew you was like this. I'm impressed.
And I take your little fine ass on a vacay. How that sound?
Sounds good, baby.
And I can't live the rest of my life looking at you, knowing I killed our baby. I'm sorry. I lost everything. I don't have nothing else. No, I'm sorry, Kayla. No. Don't do this. Baby, no.
She's my sister, not some damn criminal.
Nobody said she's a criminal.
Besides, you know my father's been way too hard.
She keeps bringing her shit here for us to deal with.
Mommy, I have a bad dream.
Oh, it's okay, baby. Come on, let's get you in the bed. That's the same reaction I got last time I tried to leave you. I don't care about nothing else but yourself. You don't care about me. You're selfish. This translation is driving me crazy.
Just ask Izzy. I mean, she speaks and writes French Creole.
Do not mention her name. My deceased mother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
How long has she been gone?
A very, very long time.
Money first.
Come on.
How did you do? Oh, come on. What are you grabbing me for? I just saved us. Fool! I was taking care of it. No, see, because none of us could have taken that thing because it killed Martin.
Yeah, because of you.
Me. I didn't do anything.
Exactly. Martin made a mistake choosing you for his team. The Birdland.
The Birdland.
The Birdland.
The Birdland.
Oh, win.
You know what? 1 week from today.
Baby, this calls for a celebration.
Yes, it does.
Sing my favorite song with me, baby.
Yeah. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
You got some of that good thing?
Man, we don't know you ladies, man.
But you can get to know me, honey. Like, just a little bit. FBI, don't move. It's time to clean house.
All right. Do you know what you're doing?
Shut the fuck up and go call everybody like I said. I'll handle this shit.
Don't ask me again. You can't take no answers. You can't take no answers. You can't take no answers. Don't ask me again. Just give it time. You can't take no answers. Why do this again? You can't take no answers.
Why you so stuck in a box? I know I up a lot. I be too high for the drama. Shove my feelings in a box. You know I'm dealing with a lot. I don't really get to stop. You know I bill them by the clock. If I'm in the building, bring the guap. You know I'm dealing with a lot. You know I'm dealing with a lot. You know I'm dealing with a lot. You know I'm dealing with a lot.
You can't take no. Don't ask me again. Just give it time. You can't take no answers. Why do this again?
It's not
really down, playing the games you do. Someday, everything will be alright. Know that different people make the world go round.
Because of you, my dreams are coming true.
That erases my rainy day.
Right now, I don't care who's watching.
For whatever the reason there might be. With your love by my side, the world will be mine. You're the one for me. Yeah!
And we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends, and my guest is Jacinth Headlam. Well, I get a little tongue-tied, but it's okay though. Headlam. Let me ask you a question, Jacinth. How do you actually get yourself into the mood to play multi-parts and multi-characters? You know, how do you actually psych yourself into getting into that character that you play, if you have to play it?
Sure. So, I mean, I use different method. One of my favorite, I would say, Lee Strasberg, which is emotional recall. So oftentimes, especially in drama, when I'm going through, whether it's a death or whether it's a breakup or whether it's my child is hurting or some way, shape or form, we've all been through traumatic past. So for me, I try to pull from my past experiences and try to have those emotional recall is what it's called, to bring it to, my current situation and my character and bridge the two gap and bridge the world together. And also sometimes I choose, to do imagination where I'm not tying it. I'm not doing the method. I'm not tying it to my past through emotional recall, but I'm literally starting from scratch and using my imagination. Usually I'll do that for a comedy.
Right.
So yeah.
So let's talk about some of the awards that you've actually gathered in the past. Tell the viewers about some of them. I'm sure they'd be interested in that.
Sure. I would say one of my fondest, most proudest moment was the city of Allentown. I was awarded a Jacinth Appreciation Day, and that was just like, wow. I believe it's February 24th. So it was just, I'm still in awe. I'm still shocked that I'm just honored. And I just feel like, man, I wish I could do more. I wish I can be more involved. So that have caused me to now start a nonprofit called Inner Star, where I'll be, forming a mentorship group. And, in these groups, we'll be doing self-development workshops and confidence boosting, both on and off cameras, because not everyone wants to be on camera, but you have some who just needs that boost, who needs to just be connected with their purpose, who needs to know, yes, you can dream big, yes, you can be bold, yes, you are enough. So I was just led to start that program. So it's now in execution and will be launched August 21st, which is called Inner Star. We all have our Inner Star.
My question to you is that, they have a lot of upcoming artists that's getting into many crafts. It could be singing, acting, things of that nature. Can you give some spoken words of encouragement to them on what it is, give them the real time of it?
Like spoken, like just a word of encouragement?
Well, yeah, they're coming up in the field.
Right.
So can you give them some type of encouragement of, to keep them sincere to it and committed?
Yeah. The first thing first is we're living in a time where social media is at an all-time high. So it's so easy to get swamped into comparison, having that imposter syndrome, because I've been there, seeking validation from people. And because you don't feel like you get the support, or you don't look like that person or talk like that person or get as much likes and comments as that person, you don't feel like you're good enough. And you start to have this dark cloud come over you, and you start to rethink your purpose and rethink your dream. And am I good enough? Yes, you are good enough. yes, you are good enough, because the person that God gave the dreams and vision to is for you. You are the visionary. There's only one you. For me, I can talk for myself. There's only one Jacinth Headlam, and we are all heroes, and we're all creators, and we're all tied to people and individual that's waiting on our yeses and waiting for us to be in alignment to answer to our calling, so that we can help and minister to those people and pay it forward and show them the rope, show them that, look, if I could do it, you could do it. Imagine if I didn't write my book. Imagine if I didn't produce my own film. Imagine if I didn't answer my, my calling to be an artist. Then I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even be talking to you. So there's so many people that are relying on my yes, that are relying on my obedience. But you have to first get in alignment and know that you are enough and you can do all things.
It's good to hear that. I think that's very informative to the fact that a lot of people have a lot of low self-esteem, especially when they get into the craft of actually getting into any type of culture. And it's good to know that people like you could actually encourage them, to let them know that it's okay to have low esteem in the beginning, but work on actually getting that high esteem, and let them know that it's okay to make mistakes as well. So I'm going to make a transition. Let's talk about the business aspect of acting and the whole craft itself. And can you share anything about it?
The business aspect. I mean, a lot of people always come to me like, how do I get started? I always want to be an actor, but I just don't know how to get started. First thing first, you are a business. I'm a business as an artist, whether it's acting, singing, modeling, dancing. So the first thing first is taking class, learning the business, learning the techniques. And a lot of artists, they're creative, but they don't know the business part of how to book. Your headshots or your pictures or your portfolio, that's your calling card. That's what you're going to submit before anything, before they even bring you in. You have to submit. That's like your resume. So, if you want to be an actor, have to get great headshots. Don't be cheap. Invest in yourself. You are your biggest investment. No one will ever invest in you more than you. The money that we can take to put into clothing, shoes, phones, getting the latest gear, that's the money you can put into you as the business. So getting the best headshots possible. Even if you have to start off doing, student films or short films, it doesn't pay anything, but that is how you build your demo reel. After you get your headshots, you're going to want demo reel to say, hey, here's an example of me on camera. Here's an example of me on stage. Here's what I can do. And then when people see your work, they'll take chances on you. And then you build your resume. Then, that short film or student films that was not paid lead to a paid role in a full feature film. Then next thing you know, you start auditioning for TV shows and you get called in and book a co-star, then a guest star, and you get moved up to series regular and, recurring, so it's just all about planting that seed and just start. Like I always try to say, when you're starting a business, whatever it may be, try to have the mindset of a baby. A baby, they have no fear. They just start crawling and take off running. They don't care if they fall. If they do fall, they're gonna get up and keep running again.
Most definitely, yes.
They have no fear, and that's how I try to do all my businesses. Is try to have a childlike mentality. No fear. Yes, I'm gonna stumble. I'm just gonna scrape myself off and take off running again. Even if I gotta jog first or walk first,
right.
It's just having a childlike mentality, not having any fear. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. The only way you can fail is if you don't do it. That's the only way you can fail, man. Seriously.
So let's talk about some current events. What are you doing these days, Jacinth?
Like I said, in addition to it, hopefully you guys can be there. I'm doing a red carpet event launching Star. We'll also be doing the Trailblazer Award, giving away some amazing, award to artists, whether it's singing, music, production company. There's a way that you can be nominated. The nomination is going to start in about another week or two. Right. And, you'll be awarded an Star Trailblazer trophy at the event August 21st at Arts Quest. It's a Sunday, so I'm not interfering with your weekend. From 4 to 7 p.m. is going to be amazing. It's going to be also Caribbean infused. Of course, that's Jamaican Independence Month. Right. So we're going to have that carnival theme. You're going to have the steel band, the carnival costume, stilts. Very classy, still very classy, very empowering. But I just wanted that Caribbean accent to my event. Because I'm Caribbean. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on my second book, Transform Her. And also just shopping around my TV pilot and gonna go into pre-production soon for my holiday film for release of 2023.
Okay. My question to you is, do you have any shout outs that you really want to shout out to people that you want to acknowledge right now?
Absolutely. I mean, recently God had just been bringing so many great people in my life that's just been pouring into me, like Antoine Allen, which is my mentor, that tells me, hey, create your own lane, create your own table. Stop waiting for somebody to say, hey, congratulations, Jacinth, you booked this role. What if you never book another role? Does that mean you don't work? So I had to learn to create my own table, and it will come. Your gift will make room for you. Also, Carrie Holmes, who was my event manager that's helping me with Inner Star. She's just been doing so much of phenomenal work and just really helping me and pushing me into my destiny. Of course, my parents, Cecile Jackson, Bentley Headlam, you done know. My children, my two beautiful children, Jaden and Genesis. My partner, Mac, just everybody that's just pouring into me. It's so many people to listen. Right. I don't want to start making people feel left out, but I would say recently, within the last couple of weeks, those are the people that's been really very impactful in my life and just really pushing me into my destiny, man. And everybody that I've worked with, Kenneth McGregor, Demariah Deneron, just so many directors that I've worked with that have given me a yes, that have trusted me with their vision and took a chance on me when I was green and didn't know what I was doing yet.
Right. Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure. I mean, a pleasure to have you on my show.
Thank you.
Finally, you have landed, and I am very grateful for that. And this has been another T-Lo video production. My guest, Jacinth Headlam. And thank you, and come back again. Maybe absolutely. Next time we could be in the real studio.
I would love that.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you guys have a nice life. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not just mine, it's for her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.